Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sasha. If this is your first time here, then welcome and thank you for clicking on this video. Today I wanted to make a video that's really important to me to share. I hope that this can help somebody out there. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about learning to love your natural hair. Okay, I feel like a lot of people on the outside looking in might think that, what am I talking about? My hair is beautiful, which it is, but I didn't always feel that way. And I just got finished filming a hair video, so it's like freshly dyed, and I ombrated and did a braid out. So I do agree that I do have beautiful hair, and I've always had beautiful hair since I was a kid, but I didn't understand that. So I want to give you some background, okay, for reference. I am American, grew up in California, in Los Angeles. My mom is Mexican American and my dad is African American, okay? So, you know, I'm biracial, I'm a mixed kid. Growing up, I went to a school where I was the only Black kid. From grades 1 through 5, I had the exact same class, and I was the only African American kid, okay? They did not consider me mixed. I was called bad things. I was teased about my hair. I was teased about my skin color. I felt different. So I've always related to people who feel like an outcast or feel different or feel unseen or feel ugly, because when you're a little kid, 7 years old, 8 years old, and people make fun of the way you talk, the way that you look, and you're just being yourself, you know, that creates a lot of insecurity. And I really didn't have anyone to turn to with these feelings, because I just thought it was normal because I was a kid. I just felt like, well, that's just the way it is. I moved to a new city. We moved to the San Gabriel Valley when I started 7th grade. And there I finally had kids at my school who look like me. We were the same color or darker or lighter or whatever, but it was more of a mix, so I appreciated that. In my day-to-day classes, I just still always felt different. And what that caused for me was I felt not good enough. I felt like images in the media, on TV, they always highlighted, especially like looking back to Disney movies, you know, there was never a Disney princess that looked like me. The ones that I remember growing up were like Ariel, Cinderella, Snow White, even Pocahontas, but she had long jet black hair, just like my mom. But I had, you know, a kinky afro, and I just felt ugly. I didn't know I didn't know that my hair was beautiful because, well, for one, nobody told me that. They tell me the opposite. And for two, I didn't have anyone to look to that had hair like mine, because even my dad's mom just kept her hair really short, and she grew up like in the 30s and 40s in LA. So she definitely wore her hair pressed out straight. She'd wear it straight up to the day she passed away. So I didn't have anyone that looked like me. I didn't have anyone to relate to on TV. And so I just felt that my hair was not pretty. I remember coming home in kindergarten, so we're talking like 5, 6 years old, and begging my mom to cut bangs for me, because all of my best friends wore bangs. They had silky straight hair, and so I wanted to fit in. And I'm not sad now. You know, I really am on a self-love journey. That's part of the reason I'm making this video. So I do love myself now, but I feel emotional for the little girl inside of me who experienced those things. And my mom you know, she went ahead and she gave me what I wanted, which were bangs. But as she cut them, you know, they just shrank back up because I have curly hair. So I still just, it didn't make me feel any better. I remember coming home also in kindergarten and asking her to make my hair straight. I told her that I wanted my hair to look like hers, that she had long, thick, black, straight hair. And so we went to the drugstore and we got one of those kid perms, and we spent the night doing my hair, you know, and it was really long down my back. And we followed the directions in the box. And my mom, you know, she's in corporate America. She's not a hairstylist at all, but she was doing her best for me to give me what I wanted. So we did it. We completed it. I remember she blow dried it out, and it was smooth. It was straight and long, so I was happy. But unfortunately, 2 days later, my mom washed my hair because she didn't know any better. And so now, looking back, I understand that, first of all, you don't want to wash a perm out like a few days later. Like, that's a big no. And she didn't know how to upkeep it, you know, none of that stuff. She is not a Black woman, so she didn't really know how to care for my hair. And in her defense, I mean, she did, when I was younger, she went to a Black salon in LA to ask questions, and they kind of like shoot her away, and they told her something along the lines of, why are you having Black kids if you don't know how to take care of their hair? So I mean, that was hurtful. That, you know, that just made her have the idea of like, I'm gonna just do her hair the best way that I know how, which included a lot of water and gel. And so it would be poofy. I never remember having oil put on my hair. She didn't know how to take care of my hair, so I was never taught. There was no YouTube back then, so I'm so grateful for it now, because I've learned so much about beauty on YouTube. And that's why I like sharing my tips with you guys too. You know, with her being a different race than her own daughter, you know, she just didn't know, so I didn't know. And I grew up with that side of my family, the Mexican side, more than my dad's side. And so, like I said, I just didn't have anyone that I could relate to. And even my cousins who were also mixed race, so Mexican and also Black, they just had a different texture, like long, loose waves, almost like straight hair. I was teased by my own family, you know, by my own brother, which I love him, I forgive him, you know, but he'd call me names, they'd make fun of my hair, things like that. I just felt different and I looked different. So now I see that as a beautiful thing. I embrace it, you know, and that's what I encourage you to do, is like, understand that God made you that way specifically, and it is beautiful. You might not look like other people, but that could be a great thing. That makes you even more unique. Embrace who you are. Love your curl pattern. Love whatever type of hair you have, whatever skin tone you have, whatever features you have, because that's what makes you you. And learn to love it and embrace it, because I guarantee you, other people may try to look the way that you look naturally. I'll see white celebrities who will put like texturizer in their hair to make it curly or appear curly, or like tan their skin, lip injections, you know, you name it, to appear the way that I appear naturally. So it's just kind of a trip that I grew up with all of these like issues, and now I look around and actually really understand from other people's perspective that it is beautiful. And I mean, I grew up in LA, so that's fairly mixed, you know, as far as different cultures, like a melting pot. I can't imagine, you know, other places like, you know, the Midwest, or, you know, I have a cousin living up in Idaho now, or just other places where it's just like you really feel like an odd man out. And it doesn't have to be that way, you guys. Basically, something I've learned as an adult now, but just recently, is that you can't look outside of yourself for validation or for love or approval or acceptance. Like, we can't wait for that. You have to give yourself those things. Love yourself, accept yourself, uplift yourself. People, once I got older and I started loving the way I looked, people would call me conceited, You know, they would call me all these vulgar names. Maybe it stemmed from jealousy, or maybe it just, they didn't understand it, why I was like lifting myself up so much. But the reason is because I was falling in love with myself and giving myself that affirmation that I never received. I remember like my dad would call me beautiful all the time. So, I mean, I love him so much, and I am a self-proclaimed daddy's girl in a way. But my parents were divorced, so I didn't see him every day, not even close to that. So yeah, again, you guys, if you're struggling with loving any part of yourself, but especially your hair, you know, I can relate to you, and I just want to encourage you to love who you are. I guarantee you there's other people who want to look the way you look naturally, and even those other people aside, it's just like, you are beautiful. You're beautiful, and that's what makes this world so beautiful. None of us look the same. Look at the trees, look at the flowers, look at our foods naturally. Like, maybe there's similarities, but they're all different. And that's like part of the richness of life. You know, that's part of the beauty of life. We all come in different shades, shapes, you know, all those things. And all of us together, you know, that's what just gives us some variety, gives us some spice, you know. So God intentionally made it that way. I say we embrace it and we accept one another. Let's stop judging one another. You know, if somebody wants to change their appearance, then so be it. Let them do that. But at the same time, you shouldn't change it from a place of you don't love yourself. You know, understand your freckles are beautiful. Your hair texture is beautiful, whatever it is. How tall you are, how short you are, your teeth, you know, your breast size, your hips, your shape, your butt, all this stuff. It's like, we're always pressured to be so perfect, but you need to understand that you already are perfect, you know. So I just wanted to come on here, share my experience with you guys, and just let you know, like, I'm at a place now where everywhere I go, people stop and stare when I wear my hair naturally, and they tell me how beautiful it is. And I'm just kind of like shocked, because I spent so many years not loving it myself. And now I'm at a place where I'm really accepting myself, embracing myself, loving myself, and really seeing my beauty for what it is and not being ashamed of it, regardless of what other people think, you guys. So I encourage you to love your natural hair. By the way, almost 2 years ago, I did the big chop, because I forgot to mention that in the midst of this, I wore a relaxer from the ages of 10 to 30. So I kept it going twice a year for 20 years until I finally cut off all my hair after I kind of damaged it. I mean, that damages it. You know, that's a whole nother thing. I encourage you to watch Good Hair, the documentary by Chris Rock. It's super interesting. But yeah, no matter where you're at in your self-love journey or your hair journey, embrace your natural texture. At the same time, if you do want to perm it, you could do that too, but understand where you're coming from mentally and emotionally when you make these decisions. If you're doing it because it's just easier to manage, you know, which is what I said for a while, and it was true, it was easier to manage, but I also didn't like my natural texture. Now looking back, I realized that my natural texture is very similar to the relaxed texture, but the relaxed was completely damaging my hair, stopping it from growing, breaking it. And now it's like, there's so much more I can do with it. It has more volume, more bounce, it's healthier, it's growing fast. I just feel really good about it. So I love making hair videos for you guys. I love showing you my techniques. And as I fall in love with my real natural hair, I just encourage you to do the same thing, you guys. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment, let me know what you think about this, and I'm sending you so much love. Remember to stay true to you, be who you are, love who you are, and that's it. Please subscribe to my channel. I drop new beauty and wellness videos every week for you guys. I love creating them. Hit the little bell. Take care. I love you. Peace. Yeah.